I want to talk about RAP just a little bit. I'm going to go over it because that's a year away, but just a little bit of the differences. It's not, that program isn't the worst program in the world, especially compared to the fact that all the good plans are being taken away. There's one thing you might hear, and I would say if you wrap, then you can't go back. In other words, if you go into the wrap program, then you can't go back to IBR. There's some disagreement on that. Some have interpreted the new bill to state, well, you can go back, you just don't get your qualified payment total. Your payments don't go with it if you go back to IBR. And then there's an interpretation that says that you can't go back at all. So either way, why would you want to? If you do go to wrap, you're probably going to stay there and be stuck in it. And there's going to be very little reason. There is a loophole there that affects a very small subset of borrowers where that could benefit them. Basically, again, the desire to make the loan completely outlive you with the low income and prevent taxable forgiveness. You could switch to wrap and back to IBR if they let you do that. And that would essentially start you over. And you'd have to do another 30 years from whenever you did that, or 25 years in IBR. And then you would get forgiven. And you might be 130 when that happens. So, but that would only work for people with extremely low incomes. But that's something that hopefully nobody has to think about. The wrap program does have a small subsidy, but it's not as good in most cases. I mean, it does waive unpaid interest in a lot of ways. It prevents the balance from growing. And they do even give it a little small credit towards principal of $50, up to $50 if your payment doesn't cover all of your interest in some circumstances, but relatively limited. There's a couple things about it that's important to understand about the RAP program, and that is that it allows you to exclude the spouse's income by filing separately. The wrap does that as well, but it doesn't count family size the same way. So if you ever talked to me before, you probably heard me tell you, listen, how many people in your household, and not just dependents, you can count unborn children. You can count anybody who lives with you you account for greater than 50% of the cost of living. So even if your best friend's in the basement not paying rent, or if your grandma's in the attic or parents move in with you, you can count those people legitimately as a dependent according to the rules of the income-driven plans, the IBR program and whatnot that are in place right now. With wrap, you can't do that. You can only count the people that you claimed on your tax return. So that could dramatically change your family size and your family credit, and making wrap that much more expensive. So be aware of that.